In this video, I'm going to show you how to do the previous example that we solved with GoalSeek up here by using a what-if analysis and then clicking on GoalSeek, where what we were trying to do was find the value of x that made this equation x squared minus 4 equal to 0. We're going to do the same thing using Solver, and what you'll notice is in my data ribbon, my data menu, I do not have Solver over here all the way to the right. So to install Solver, what you do is go up to File, Options, Add-ins. We're going to manage Excel add-ins and hit go, and I'm going to click on Solver add-in. So we're going to hit OK. So now we're set up for Solver, and you can see that we've got that over here on Analysis on my data menu. And so now what I'm going to do is set up a Solver scenario by going in and clicking Solver, and you see this large window that comes up. And I've already preset some of these things, so I want to set my objective in row 2, column 3, where you see this marquee kind of flashing around on my cell. That what we want to do is we want to set that cell equal to a value of 0. We could have done a min or a max, and those things happen, min and max happen a lot when we're doing optimization and that kind of thing. By changing, and what I did is I clicked on, when I was here, I clicked on this cell R2C1, and notice what happens is, what will happen at some point is this R2C1 will become X, and so that's another thing you could have done. You could have just typed in X here and see what happens. I added a constraint. Let me go ahead and delete this one, and then go ahead and add it again by adding a constraint that says that the value for my X, R2C1, or we could have said X as well, is greater than or equal to 0, and we hit OK. And so when you do that, you see what's going on. So we're basically setting the objective of this cell where the marquee is flashing. We want to make it equal to 0 by changing this X, which right now has a value of 4, and subject to the constraint that X, or what now is 4, is greater than or equal to 0. You can also see this unconstrained variables non-negative. That's doing the same thing. Constraints, there's a whole variety of very complex equations we can add that'll make that happen. So let's go ahead and hit solve and see what happens. It says Solver found a solution, all constraints and optimality conditions are satisfied. So we're going to keep solution and be happy about that. So I'm going to hit OK, and then you'll notice what happened is we adjusted our X, which had been 4, to be now 2 using Solver, and we have our value of our function is now equal to 0. So we have found a solution that makes this equation equal to 0. So all is great. So this wraps up the series of cell naming, GoalSeek, and Solver in Excel.